Hey, I thought it'd be fun today to do a card reading. I love card readings myself. And here's this deck I'm using. My friend Lana told me about this deck, which I got on Amazon, and it gives me so much insight. So I'm going to shuffle and you be thinking about your dream, your goal, and this card is going to give you some advice about that. So I'm shuffling. I'm not one of those fancy shufflers. I'm shuffling and I'm choosing this card. Whoops. This card, wow, is probably going to be really good. I find these are just excellent. So this is, oh, this is perfect. See beyond the past. Yeah, let's see beyond the past. How about that? So it's number 23. The deck comes, of course, with a book that you can read. And let me get to that. See, I didn't do it ahead of time or I would already be there. See beyond the past, the beautiful black swan. The fable of the ugly duckling tells of a baby swan that nested with baby ducks. All the ducks made fun of little swan for how different he looked, which made him feel not good enough. Little swan compared himself to what a duck should look like, rather than own the nature of his true self, a swan. Sadly, little swan began to assume the identity of, hold on. I lost my place. Do you ever lose your place? Okay. Of the ugly duckling. He identified himself with ugly. And don't you ever feel like you're just sticking out for some reason? And why do we immediately go to the negative? Something must be wrong with me. Well, like ugly duckling, you could be in the wrong place in your mind, in your opinion of yourself. Okay, as time went on, little swan grew and became the most beautiful black swan, and some would even say more magnificent than the common ducks that bullied him. This card is the story of what happened to the black swan as an adult. Reflected in the water is his heartbroken child self, like your inner child could need some nurturing, some loving, some lifting up. Despite how gorgeous Black Swan became, he suffered from severe shame and feelings of unworthiness. Ah, he could not see the glorious truth of himself. He became crippled by the delusion that something was inherently wrong with him. I see this with light workers all the time, feeling like, not just light workers, people in general feel like something is wrong with us. And have you ever heard maybe an authority figure say to you, "What is wrong with you?" Let me tell you, those words sting. Little Swan, beautiful black swan, believed a wicked distortion that diminished his worth. He was utterly unaware of his captivating beauty and could honor neither himself nor the gifts the great mystery bestowed upon him. He became obsessed with outside validation and compared himself to other winged creatures. The ugly duckling finally woke up to his true self as the beautiful black swan and asked you, beloved, to do the same. Swan's medicine asks you to accept that you feel your insecurities, but do not submit to them. Whenever you feel small, it's not a reality. It's just the old story and the programming that brainwashed you. Please wake up from that illusion and honor what the Great Spirit gifted you, the gift of yourself. No one in the world is like you. Own that you are a rare miracle. So, time to let the past go and stop focusing on the past. I find in my ministry that so many people are trapped in the illusion of the past. And when you focus on the crap of the past a whole lot, it keeps you in a state of certainly never honoring your worth. You're seeing your life now through the lens of the old stuff that happened to you. Black Swan invites you to get rid of that lens and begin to appreciate the smallest thing about yourself. One of the things I advise people to do is to praise something about yourself while tapping. Because when you tap on the meridian points, you're tapping on your entire energy system and it raises your frequency. What happens when your frequency get raised? You're going to attract more of the good stuff to you, especially, I feel like I'm preaching a sermon here. If you're tapping on little things about yourself that you can praise. So, are you ready to do this with me? Think of something about yourself that you can praise. Now, I'm tuning into you, and I feel that you have a very kind heart. You empathize, sympathize with others, with animals, with beings. You have a kind heart. That is something to be praised. You could have an old, ugly, mean heart. Probably wouldn't be here listening to this kind of stuff. Or something else. But let's start with that and let's tap together. You know, this is for self-sabotage. So we start here. And I praise my kind heart. See, when you say that, it feels good. I praise myself for having a kind heart. Ah, yes. I have a kind heart. I have a kind heart. I love having a kind heart. I love having a kind heart. My heart is kind. My heart is kind. My heart is kind. And then under the arm, my heart is kind. Take a deep breath in and out. And then think of who you could be kind to today. Now, start with yourself. What kind thing could you do today? What is your soul craving as a kindness? You know, one of the things that you can do to be kind to yourself is release and resist that voice of the inner critic. The voice of the inner critic wants to say stuff like, well, sure, you have a kind heart, but you've never really gotten ahead in life very much, and go on and on and on. So you can actually get forceful with the inner critic, and you can actually say, shut up, because it's usually the voice of some authority figure in the past. And wouldn't it be fun to just say to whoever that authority figure was in the past, shut up. I I no longer am listening to you. I'm listening to my kind heart, and my kind heart says, be kind to yourself. God bless you, and I'll see you soon.